everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Sensei Pink, and I'm coming back to you guys for my review on Lore Olympus episode 148. Now, before we get into this episode, make sure that you go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and hit that subscribe and notification button to see more weekly videos. Now, kicking off this episode, we start off with a dream per se of Hades, and Hades is in the mortal realm and he sees his lovely Persephone hard at work, and they both greet each other, and when they do, suddenly his father King Kronos comes out of nowhere and he's just like, thank you my boy, you got me a fertility goddess, and you are proving to be a useful son after all. Although Hades tries to, I guess, not break free from the dream, but basically state like, you know, this is a nightmare, I know that you're in TARDIS. His father hits back by saying like, are you sure about that? And shortly after swallows Percy, and then we get Hades like jumping out of his sleep. After Hades wakes up, he sees that smaller, like tiny version of himself that we've seen, or younger version of himself that we saw in the episode where him and Myth had that big argument when, you know, Myth basically slaps him. And basically he tells his, I guess, little self that he's okay, you don't need to check on me, and the little one flies off. After the little one flies off, Hades is just telling himself like, you know, she's okay, she's got to be okay, but he just can't wrap his head around the fact that she's okay. So he decides that he's gonna go just check to make sure he's okay, as ridiculous as that is. When he does to check to see if she's alright, his dog ruins it for him, and although he thinks he's caught red-handed and he's just like, hey, you know, just go back to sleep, don't mind me, Percy instead pushes Cerberus off the bed and tells him to just come join her, especially since it's 6:30 a.m. in the morning. The two of them then begin to snuggle up while watching a cute little video of some like griffin pups, and Percy begins to ask him what's wrong. Although Hades tries to pass it off as nothing, Percy threatens him by telling him that she'll give him this weird awkward stare, aka the void face, and this causes him to cave in. Hades then tells Percy about his dream, and Percy's just like, why didn't you say so from the beginning? And she comforts him, and as the two end their convo, she's just like, you know, there's no way he can leave, he's in TARDIS, right? And he's just like, yeah, you know, there's no way that he can leave. Moving along from these two, we sort of cut to the tree that Percy created in Tower 4, and through the panels we are following some of the branches throughout the building. The branches eventually, I guess, lead all the way down to the depths of what looks like TARDIS, and we get to see King Kronos's I guess skeleton that is being held there, and although he's in chains and he looks dead, we end this episode off with King Kronos rising his head, looking at, I guess, the cherry blossoms or leaves, whatever it is, from Percy's pink tree falling into his prison, saying, well, well, well. Now, first of all, Hades and Percy are super cute. I really loved the dream, even though it took a dark turn. But I really love the dream, and honestly, I just can't wait for that to be real, you know, when Hades comes to pick Percy up, you know, after 6 months in the mortal realm, and for her to go to the underworld and be with her husband. So I honestly just cannot wait. I would also really love, you know, maybe for Rachel to add like a twist to this. I know that Percy and Hades do have children, but for maybe one of their kids or so to maybe take after Demeter, you know, really want to be involved in that mortal realm spring like business, and maybe that'll make a better connection between Demeter and Percy. So I mean, I think they are a pretty good parent-daughter relationship, minus, you know, the obsessive hovering over Percy. I just want them to have, you know, that, I guess, grandkid connection. Now guys, let me get into my predictions for episode 149. So for episode 149, I definitely feel like Kronos is like gonna begin plotting his escape. I definitely believe that although Kronos is in TARDIS and maybe he's like a skeleton and whatnot, I just feel like he still has enough power. And maybe Percy's tree, whatever, the cherry blossoms falling down will give him enough power to maybe take control of some gods and do his bidding, such as you know, maybe we'll even come to find out that, you know, everything that Apollo's done, even though we all fucking hate Apollo and you know, now his mom, you know, it's all being done because of Kronos, or like, you know, some sort of influence that he'll have on their brain or something. I think that would sort of be interesting to find out, that he's just been like the real villain the whole time. Because honestly, as much as I really do hate Apollo, I don't want to believe that he's really evil. I do want, and I think I said this before, like one of my previous reviews, that I feel like maybe somehow, some way, he's just like being controlled by something overcomes him, and that's just it. Like, you know, we have those instances where his like eyes light up like yellow, and of course that's when he's angry and stuff. I think that maybe Apollo does have like per se a crush on Persephone, but I think that whatever might be like taking over his brain and his family's brain that just can't seem to reach Artemis is just like taking it from like 0 to 100, you know what I mean? But I mean, if that's not the case, then he does need to die. So that's that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Let me know, what do you guys think is going to happen next episode, and what do you guys think about this new reveal of Kronos, King Kronos? Go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter, and smash that like button if you enjoyed watching. And finally, guys, hit that subscribe and notification button to see more of me, Sensei Pink.